Okay, good day students. So today we will be talking about the cost and volume profit analysis. So let us first define our objectives. So today class, we will be describing the concepts and importance of cost volume profit relationship. Tapos, we will state the assumptions and limitations of CVP analysis. Then we will have to determine the production volume and price needed to attain the break-even point. So ano nga ba yung break-even point? Bakit kailangan nating malaman kung ano yung break-even point? Then we will also use the concept of break-even point in determining the target operating income o magkano yung gusto nating maging income at the end of the day. And then we have to apply the CVP analysis in making decision making. And of course, to examine the sensitivity of profits to changes in sales by using the margin of safety and operating leverage. So first, ano ba yung cost volume profit analysis? So by definition class, si cost volume profit analysis or CVP, this examines the behavior of total revenues, total costs, and yung operating income as changes occur in the unit sold or yung quantity, the selling price, magkano yung benta natin, and then the variable cost per unit or the fixed cost of a product. So, ano nga ba yung mga assumptions and terminology? So, yung CVP natin, meron tayong mga assumptions kung ano yung ina-assume natin when performing CVP analysis. First is the changes in the level of revenues and costs arises only because of changes in number of products or service. In short, kapag tumaas yung number of products na ipoproduce mo, automatically, yung ating revenue and of course our costs in relation to our variable cost rises based doon sa ating units ng product sold. Total cost can be divided into a fixed cost and variable cost. And when graphed, the behavior of total revenues and total cost is linear in relation to output units within the relevant range and time period. In short, kapag tumaas yung ating unit sold, tataas din yung ating cost. Tumaas yung quantity, tataas din yung ating cost. Okay, number 4 na assumption is the unit selling price or unit variable cost and fixed cost are known and constant. And the analysis either covers a single product or assumes that the sales mix when multiple products are sold will remain constant as the level of total units sold changes. And all revenues and costs can be added and compared without taking into account the time and value of money. So when we say time value of money, ito yung assumption na, di ba class, kapag yung piso mo ngayon, binili mo, mas madami yung maibibili mo doon sa piso. Kesa doon sa piso mo na binili mo 20 years from now, mas unti na lang yung mabibili mo. So that's what we call the time value of money. So, in CVP analysis, we will be examining these variables. So, let Q be the quantity or total sales volume. O, ito yung gaano kadami yung gusto mong ibenta. And then, SPU will be our selling price per unit. So, ang ating revenue class will be selling price, of course, times the quantity or gaano kadami yung gusto mong ibenta. Okay, so selling price times Q will be our revenue. Simple as that. So, yung fixed cost naman class, this will be the fixed cost kahit gaano kadami. When we say fixed, kaya nga fixed kahit gaano kadami yung ibenta mong Q, yung fixed cost mo will remain. And let V be the variable cost per unit or ano yung mga cost ng products na tumataas in every change in Q. Yan yung letter V. So, variable cost per unit. When we say VC, big letter V, C, so this will be the total variable cost. So, ang formula nito will be variable cost, the variable cost per unit times the quantity. Okay. Hence, yung total cost natin or yung total cost will be, of course, the variable cost plus fixed cost. So, then, yung total cost natin from the variable cost, di ba yung variable cost natin is V times Q. Yan. So, dahil variable cost plus fixed cost ang ating total cost, so yan, nagkaroon tayo ng V times Q plus FC. So let's proceed naman doon sa ating profit. So yung profit natin or the contribution margin, in other terms, contribution margin, meron tayong tinatawag na contribution margin and contribution margin per unit. Ano nga ba to? So itong dalawang to yung profit natin in relation to our variable cost only. So our contribution margin per unit will be our selling price minus the variable cost per unit. Okay, so hindi pa kasama dyan yung fixed cost. So variable cost lang yung pinag-uusapan natin yan. So when we say CMU, okay, again, selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Then when we say contribution margin, of course, this will be the CMU or the contribution margin per unit times quantity. Of course, kung ilan yung binenta mo, yun yung profit mo, yung total contribution margin natin. Then, to get the contribution margin ratio, we will divide it by the contribution margin per unit divided by the selling price per unit. So, example nito class, let's say, yung ating selling price per unit is 20 pesos. Therefore, 9 yung ating contribution margin per unit dahil 11 pesos yung ating variable cost. Therefore, para makuha natin yung contribution margin ratio, we will divide 9 by 20, which is the selling price per unit. That would be 0.45 ang ratio. So, this means na merong 45% na contribution margin ratio per selling price or contribution margin unit per peso of sales. Or in other terms, meron tayong 0.45 pesos per piso na benta ng ating kumpanya. So, ayan. Let's proceed naman sa break-even point. Ano naman yung break-even point? Bakit importante naman to na malaman mo? So, break-even point is the quantity of output where the total revenues equals total cost. That is where the operating income is 0. So, bakit kailangan natin tong malaman? Ibig sabihin nito, revenue will be equal to our total cost. So, in short, walang kita. So, bakit natin to kailangan malaman if you will be a manager? Of course, dapat malaman natin kung ano yung point na given your total cost na gaano kadami or gaano kalaki yung kailangan mong abutin na benta or sales or units na hindi ka malulugi. Kumbaga, gaano kadami yung sales na kailangan mong abutin or minimum na sales na kailangan mong mabenta. Okay? So, let BEP or our break-even point. So, let BEP equals to break-even point. So, R is equals to TC or no profit. So, BEP can be represented into units or peso. So, pwedeng gaano kadami yung volume ng iyong binenta or break-even point in terms of gaano kadami yung sales mo na kailangang minimum na abutin in terms of peso. So, if R is equals to TC, dahil yung TC is or yung R is equal to the selling price times quantity at yung TC is equal to the variable cost plus fixed cost, yung variable cost natin ay V times Q or the variable cost per unit times quantity plus FC. So, yan ang ating formula, no? So, to look for Q or the minimum quantity to be sold without profit, we derive this formula. So, gagawin natin Q dapat yung malaman natin. So, given SPU or the selling price per unit, given the variable cost and the fixed cost. So, from SPU times quantity minus V times Q. So, ang nangyari, para makuha natin yung Q, yung VQ, lagay natin sa kabila. Okay? And when you transpose, yung positive magiging negative. Yan. So, SPU Q minus VQ equals to FC. So, dahil nandito na lahat sa left side, sa left-hand side ng formula, let's factor out letter Q. Okay, paano natin gagawin yan? So, ilabas natin si Q. So, si Q, ilabas natin, pasok natin si SPU minus V equals to FC. We then, para makuha natin yung quantity, i-divide natin yung both sides by SPU. Yan. So, mangyayari niyan, SQ times SPU equals to FC. So, divide both sides by SPU minus V. So, Cancel out natin to. Then, ang Q natin will be equated to, yan. Q is equals to FC divided by Q minus V.
That will be our break-even point in terms of quantity. That will be equal to BEPQ equals to FC divided by our SPU minus V or the CMU or the contribution margin per unit. Paano naman malalaman natin kung ano yung ating break-even point in terms of peso? So, simple lang. Edi times mo yung break-even point ng quantity times the selling price per unit. So, that will be our break-even point in terms of peso. So, nalaman na natin kung magkano yung sales na kailangan nating abutin para hindi tayo malugi. So, other formula nitong BEP equals to BEP in peso equals to the BEP quantity times SPU will be the fixed cost divided by the CMR ratio. Or ang CMR ratio makukuha natin by dividing the contribution margin or SPU minus V divided by our selling price per unit. So, 9 ang ating contribution margin per unit divided by our selling price which is 20. So, that will be equal to 0.45. So, para makuha natin yung break-even point in terms of peso, that would be 40 divided by 0.45. Then, we will be able to get the break-even point in terms of peso, which is 88.88. Okay, so that will be our break-even point in terms of peso. Yan yung mga importanteng tatandaan natin na formulas, no? Break-even point in quantity and break-even point in terms of peso.
Then, let's talk about income naman, class. Paano naman mo malalaman kung halimbawa,
given yung quantity, ilan yung magiging operating income mo? Or baliktad, halimbawa, ang given naman yung isang total operating income, ilan naman yung dapat na total quantity na kailangan mong i-produce. So, let TIO be the total operating income. So, of course, para makuha yung operating income, revenue will be minus sa total cost natin. Total operating income is equals to revenue minus total cost. Then, syempre, yung revenue natin is selling price times the quantity. So, yung total cost natin is the fixed cost saka variable cost. So, yung variable cost naman natin para makuha is V times Q. So, i-minus natin yung FC. So, this will be your formula para makuha natin yung total operating income. So, if you are looking for Q, dapat i-factor out natin yung letter Q, no? Para isa lang yung variable na letter Q. So, to do so, kailangan natin ilipat yung fixed cost sa kabila. So, when we transpose, yung negative magiging positive. So, ang mangyayari, si total operating income, okay, so TOI pala. Si TOI, i-plus natin yung fixed cost dahil nilipat sa kabila, equals to the quantity Q SPU minus V. So, dahil pinactor out natin yung letter Q, nilabas natin yung Q, so SPU minus V. So, para naman makuha natin kung ano yung Q, i-divide natin yung both sides by SPU minus V. So, divide both sides by SPU minus V. So, makakancel out yung SPU minus V sa right-hand side ng equation. Then, ang matitira is letter Q. So, then, ang Q will be equated to TIO plus FC divided by SPU minus V or our contribution margin per unit. So, ayan, nakukuha na natin yung quantity given an operating income.
So, para malaman natin yung break-even ng ating business transactions, kailangan natin, merong 3 methods. First, equation method. So, ito yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Pwedeng gamitin nyo ang equation method ng total operating income. So, total operating income will be your, revenue minus variable cost minus fixed cost. So, kapag, example, i-substitute nyo lang. So, unit selling price, 200. Variable cost, 120. Fixed cost, 2,000. So, ayan, naging 200, 120, 2,000. Therefore, ang imuhang total operating income will be equated to 0. So, ang hinahanap natin yung quantity, no? So, again, ilalabas natin yung quantity. So, ito lang yung formula kanina. Same lang to sa formula na nakuha natin na paano makuha yung ating break-even point in quantity. Okay, doon sa ating previous slide. So, through that, nakita mo yung iyong quantity dapat na mabenta through efficiency method. And after next class, para makuha natin yung break-even point is the contribution margin ratio. So, from this formula again, no, na-derive yung ating contribution margin na FC minus CMU. So, ganun lang. Contribution margin lang yung ilagay niya. PET in quantity is equal to FC divided by SPU minus B sa previous slide, or CMU. So, that will be our break-even points in units. Then, another class, para malaman natin yung break-even point is through graphing method. So, parehas din to. Ito, let the x-axis be the unit sold. Yung ating y-axis, ito yung ating in peso. So, etong pula na line, this will be our revenue. Tapos, ito namang ating violet line, this is our total cost. TC. So, given this, limbawa 5 units lang yung binenta mo, given your specific fixed cost, ito yung iyong amount ng cost. At ito yung iyong sales. And ganyan yan. Given 10 units naman, kung 10 units yung binenta mo, yung sales mo, ito yung amount. Ito yung cost mo, na amount ng cost mo. At pag nag-intersect yan, yung iyong revenue na line at yung iyong cost na line, yung intersection will be your break-even point. So, this is another way of getting your break-even point in terms of peso and in terms of units sold. Example class, yung decision to advertise. Consider the do-all software example. Suppose Mary anticipates 40 packages. So, ano yun? 40 packages yung queue natin. At this sales level, Mary's operating income would be 1,200. Let's say sa given, no, meron tayong fixed cost na 2,000. Tapos, may contribution margin tayo na 80 pesos. And then sabi niya, from 40, tataas to ng 45 kapag nagdagdag tayo ng 500 pesos or $500 sa ating fixed cost. Therefore, our fixed cost will be 2,500. And then, given this contribution margin, 80 times 40, so, magkakaroon tayo ng 3,200 na contribution margin sa 40 packages without advertisement. Kapag naman naging 80 times 45, our contribution margin will be 3,600. So, we can then begin the subtraction from 3,200 na contribution margin minus 2,000, magkakaroon tayo ng 1,200 na operating income. If ever naman na 45 packages yung gamitin natin with advertisement, so yung ating operating income will be 1,100. So, there will be a difference of 100 pesos. Okay? So, ang difference nito, 3,200 less 3,600, that would be 400 and 500. Okay, so, yes, meron tayong negative 100. So, let's say, 40 packages, meron tayong operating income na 1,200 at sa 45 packages, 1,100. So, mas mabuti na wag na lang tayong mag-adapt ng advertising. So, if that is the case. From this example, let's say the given is Mary Frost plans to sell Do-All Software, a home office software package at a heavily attended 2-day computer convention in Chicago. So, Mary can purchase this software from a computer software wholesaler at $120 per package. Hence, yung ating variable cost per unit is $120 per package. So, ayan, may nakalagay ng SPU because it says here that, so the units will be sold at $200 each. So, therefore, ang yung ating selling price per unit is $200. So, she also knows she would pay 2,000 to Computer Conventions Incorporated. So, mo ni ang fixed cost. For the booth rental for the 2-day convention, she will incur no other cost. So, she must decide whether she should rent a booth. Yung hahanapin muna natin is the break-even point. So, given this formula, which we have shown earlier, paano natin na-derive yung mga yan. So, ayan yung mga importante, no, na formula. So, break-even point in quantity is equal to FC divided by the CMU, which is the selling price minus the variable cost. Quantity, so we will determine the break-even point per quantity. So, the fixed cost is $2,000. Ang ating selling price will be $200 plus the variable cost, which is $120. Hence, we will be having 2,000 pesos dollar minus $50.
So that would equate to 25 units. Ayan. So, ang break-even point natin, dapat makabenta tayo ng minimum of 25 units para hindi tayo malugi. Ayan. So, ano naman yung break-even point natin in terms of peso? Break-even point natin in terms of dollars, ang formula is FC divided by the CMR ratio. So, $2,000 yung fixed cost natin and the CMR ratio. CMR is taken by CMU divided by SPU. So, yung CMU natin, that will be $80 because 200 minus 120. So, 80 divided by 200, that would be 0.4. So, $2,000 divided by 0.4, yung ating break-even point in terms of dollar will be, okay, 5,000 pesos. So, let's check para ma-check natin kung tama ba itong break-even point natin in terms of peso. I-times natin yung break-even point in terms of quantity times doon sa ating unit selling price. So, 25 times $200, that will be, okay, $5,000. So, tama. Tama yung ating break-even point in terms of peso.
So, naman, gusto nating malaman yung quantity in terms of may given tayo na total operating income. So, halimbawa, let's say, yung gusto natin ma-achieve na income or total operating income, TOI pala, will be, let's say, $5,000. Ilan yung kailangan nating i-produce na Q or the quantity. So, given this formula sa ating given na mga equation, let's find Q, no? So, Q will be equals to, let's say, 5,000 yung gusto natin na makuha. That will be $5,000 plus fixed cost, which is 2,000. Tama. Then, SPU minus B will be $80. So, yung ating target quantity ngayon plus is 7,000 divided by 80. So, dapat makaproduce tayo ng 87.6. Wala naman ganito. Automatic, halimbawa ng mga product or services. Ano na yan? Round off yan to 88. Tinanong kayo, halimbawa ay ilang Q, ang sasagot sa 88. Yan. Para makuha natin yung kailangan natin na total operating income. So, let's say naman ang hinahanap natin is si TIO. So, halimbawa, sabihin natin, yung gusto natin na Q is 50. Ilan naman yung ating magiging total operating income? So, from this formula, we can substitute. So, TIO is equal to, so 200, no? 200 times 50, yung variable cost minus 120 times 50, 120 times 50 minus 2,000. Okay, that will be your total operating income. So, pardon guys, no, nagkabaliktad yung I at saka O. 200 times 50, that will be 10,000. 10,000.
Then 120 times 50, that will be 6,000. Minus 2,000 na fixed cost, this would equate to 2,000 pesos na total operating income. So given that meron tayong 50 na quantity, we could expect a total operating income of 2,000 pesos. So that will be our CVP analysis.